Hi guys, this is Dwayne, your essential oil coach at Essential Oils Unlimited. Today I want to talk to you a bit about essential oil safety. That's something that I have neglected to do. At least I haven't went into it in depth enough. And we all need to, especially if you're an essential oil coach. I want to share with you a book that I recently got. It's called Essential Oil Safety by Robert Tisserand and Rodney Young. This is the Bible of essential oil safety, and I've known about it for a couple years, but I never got a copy because it's expensive, typically $90. Now I got this one used off Amazon for $60, and it's in new-like condition. Well, this thing is the Bible on essential oil safety. I mean, it's like a chemistry book. It's like a college chemistry book. I mean, this thing really goes into detail. Over 300 oils covered. I would highly recommend any essential oil coach have a copy of this. Yes, I know it's expensive, but you can't afford not to be. I'll give you an example. Over a year ago, I started treating my fungus big toe with oregano successfully. And I've been fungus free on that toe now for about 8 months. It worked great for me, and a friend says, well, I wonder if that'll work on my hands. I've got something that looks like a type of fungus. And I says, well, it might. He just happened to have a bottle of good quality oregano oil, so he dumped it on his hand and started rubbing it in, and it was instant heat. Well, my friend didn't sleep any that night because his hand was highly irritated. And I take the blame for that because I didn't know, based on my own experience, how potent oregano oil could be. And in reality, almost any essential oil could cause a skin reaction to some people. That doesn't mean it will me or you, but I suggest you read up on it. And I'll give you another example right now that I just learned about: lemongrass. Somebody on the Essential Oil Institute page was talking about using lemongrass as a bug repellent for children. Well, I would not use it for children, and here's why. I blended up some myrrh and lemongrass to use it as thyroid support, and it seems to be helping. However, it did irritate my neck, and I was using it straight. Now I'm down to 5% solution. And I get this book just a few days ago, and I start reading, and one of the first things that came up was lemongrass. And I thought, gee whiz, it was talking about skin sensitivity, and yes, you can have skin sensitivities. And children, especially young children, is a no-no. And here's what it says about lemongrass. And they're referring to East and West Indian lemongrass, which is basically what most of us get. It was this is in laboratory animals, moderately irritating to rabbits and mildly irritating to mice and pigs, tested at a 4% solution. 4%. Not 100%. Don't ever forget, if you've got a good quality essential oil, it is concentrated. It's more concentrated than any plant material you ever get that product is derived from. So, you know, it goes on further down there, and it talks about there were no irritant or allergic reactions to 1% lemongrass. Now we're getting there. I am currently with my myrrh and lemongrass thyroid support using about a 5% solution, no problem. In the beginning, I suggested the same combo. Actually, it was straight for a friend, a young woman, and it never irritated her skin. Well, but it did mine. So see, and I'm up in my 60s. So what works for one person may not work for another. So, you know, when it comes to children, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. If you're going to make an error on the side of safety. So I definitely would not use this on children unless you go clear down to a 1% solution. Let's face it, you don't want to have an adverse reaction to a client, a friend, or even family member. So be careful. It's always better to err on the side of safety. You can start out with a weak solution and work your way up. No problem at all. And not only that, stop and think about it. You buy a bottle of essential oil, you pay $25 for a 15 ml bottle, and you cut it down to 1% solution with fractionated coconut oil or many other type of carrier oils, and your overall cost for the solution you're using is drastically reduced. That means it's just like me with my oregano oil. Instead of buying a bottle of oregano oil every 3 months, I buy a bottle and I cut it down to 5%, and it lasts me for over a year, maybe 2 years. So it's good economics. I know for people that sell essential oils, you probably want them to use more. Well, that's not necessarily the case, and that's not the case with me. Sure, I sell essential oils, and I'll gladly sell you almost anything you want, but I don't necessarily want you to use more, because more is not better. And some oils you could use straight. I use peppermint oil straight, but not topically. I put it in an inhaler, and when I have a headache, I just sniff on it, and it takes care of my headache right off. But topically, peppermint oil is a fairly hot oil, and it depends on what skin you get it on. It can be irritating. Typically on my hands, the surface of my arm, no problem. On my forehead, I used to rub it over my eyebrows when I had a sinus headache, no problem. If I get it down on my eyelids, a problem. Different skin sensitivity in different areas of the body, so be very careful with that. And get you a copy of, all of you essential oil coaches, you need a copy of this. Wow. It's going to take me the rest of my life to decipher all of this, but it's got it all in here. You know, chart after chart and tests and all kind of references. I wish they would make a Kindle Fire copy of this so I could have it on my computer for reference. It's so much easier when you want a reference to something that you've already got it on your computer. By the way, this thing has over 600 pages, so it is the Bible. And if you've never heard of Robert Tisserand, then you don't know much about essential oils, because he is the guru of essential oil safety. He's been studying safety in essential oils for over 50 years. When I first got into essential oils, and I had been into natural cures and remedies for a long time, I heard about Robert Tisserand, and that people that knew more about me than essential oils was talking about him all the time. And I said, well, according to Tisserand, you should be careful about your dilution. And I thought, well, who's he? Well, it didn't take long for me to figure out that he is the world-class guru when it comes to essential oil safety. So save up your pennies and get you a copy of this. You won't be sorry. And that is everything for today, folks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.